Interestingly enough, your second week of the semifinals, I don't think I've ever seen a contestant so early sort of solidify their position in the competition. When you came out with Imagine, it was like everyone was thinking, is the competition done? There's no way this kid's not going to make the top 3 or top 4. What was that like for you? Was that a relief to know that you'd done that well, or was it like, oh my God, I've set the bar so high, I'm freaking myself out?
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I didn't really realize why, what was the hype, what the hype was about. I thought, I'm just singing a song I love to sing.
Right.
So it was really weird to hear what the judges said.
You're the one to beat, and there are 19 very miserable contestants sitting here tonight. Trust me, after that.
And I was just kind of like, oh, wow. I was not expecting that. I just felt like, oh, man, okay, all these people have really energetic, pumped up performances, and then here I am in this song. I don't want to put people to sleep or anything. But, it put a lot of pressure on me because I was like, I don't get it. What was so great about it? And now I have to live up to whatever it was.
Right.
I still am not sure what it was.
You've got 13 more weeks to match that performance.
Yeah, it just was so unexpected because it's like I didn't even try to do, any of that. It was crazy.
How is it for you? I mean, at 17 years old, is it hard to deal with the highs and lows of the competition?
Well, it was definitely a challenge. It gets pretty rough trying to fit everything into your schedule and then school and then trying to find extra free time to rehearse and to really concentrate on your songs. So, sometimes just be in school listening to the songs.
Right.
Wendy knows.
When you're supposed to be studying.
Oh, it's like multitasking.
Right.
Just kind of like listening to music while you do homework. Only it's it's really important at this time.
For a young man, dude, you are definitely in the zone right now. Another good performance, baby.
One interesting point, and I talked to Brooke about this and a little bit with Jason Castro about this. The actual process of judging sometimes seems jarring because you finished a performance and you're up there performing as an artist, and then it's like needle across the record, suddenly you're in front of the judges. And I sometimes got the sense from you like pure panic on your face, like, oh no, how did you ever get used to that? Because I even thought your final performance week, where that was one of your best weeks, you looked like you were absolutely filled with dread when it came time for the judges. Did you ever get used to that?
I actually wasn't filled with dread. It was just more like, I hope that they appreciated the hard work I put into this. Even if they didn't like it that much, as long as they knew that I gave it my best, that's all it was about. And just because I poured my heart and soul into those last performances.
Yeah.
Don't let the sun go down on me.
When you did Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, it just seemed like you threw everything into it.
Man.
We hear that cliche, like, leave everything on the stage, but I felt like that performance, you could actually almost feel it through the TV screen.
It literally wore me out. I mean, it's like, even if I didn't do anything, it's not like I blew my vocal cords out or anything, but I really just I tried to get into the song as best as I could, and I just felt like I was able to do that. It wasn't about winning or anything, because, if I did a good job, won or lost, that was the main thing. If you sucked and won, that wouldn't have been a very good feeling, because it's all about how well you performed and how well you presented yourself. I think Cook deserved to win more than anyone, just because he proved every week why he was there and why he should be the American Idol. He didn't even have to say anything.
With you and David, it seemed like both of you were super gracious at the finale. Did it matter that much to you at that point, win or lose? I mean, were you thinking in terms of competitive?
I think the competition ended a while ago for me. I think, it's not about winning, trying to show who's better, because we're so different from each other, and it's not about that anymore. It was just nice to be able to just take a breath after all of this, because I know Simon wasn't too complimentary to him on Tuesday, but it was good that he did on Wednesday apologize, because it's just like, I don't think anyone is really realizing how much work is put into this and how much pressure there is for us. 3 songs in a week along with everything else going on. It's pretty insane. I think Cook deserved to win more than anyone, just because he proved every week why he was there and why he should be the American Idol. He didn't even have to say anything. Yeah, so I wasn't surprised at all when that's the name I was expecting to hear.
Cook!
all my friends are fans of Cook, and that's,
Right.
people always want to know how he's doing and stuff, and it was an honor to just have been up there on the stage, sharing that stage with him,
Yeah.
being the last person next to him. I couldn't believe it. Someone who's just, you've admired and has been looking out for you throughout the whole thing, been like my big brother, pretty much.
And coming in second, you didn't have to sing the words "Magic Rainbow" in the grand finale. song.
I like that song. It's a good song, and I'm glad Cook sounds really good on it too.
Magic Rainbow, tough lyric to sell at top 40.
I know.
I'm telling you.
It's like I'm sure Cook can pull it off. He has that more grungy.
He's just gonna growl the word "Magic Rainbow" and be
it's-
like, "You're gonna believe it."
It's like if I were to sing it, it's like a rainbow would like appear behind me. It's like, wait, go. That's the image I portrayed, I guess.
Now, you mentioned that at the very beginning of the season, during your audition, that you had the problem with your vocal cord, a paralyzed vocal cord, I believe you said.
Oh.
How, did that ever become an issue for you? Because it's a grueling 14 weeks of competing, or was that not an issue?
That was something that happened a few years ago. It was in the middle of Star Search, actually, where I found out. I didn't even think of it as a story or anything, but it's something that does, kind of affect my breathing.
Right.
I was there and the producer around, and they're like, "I noticed you have really heavy breathing," and it was just kind of think, "Oh yeah, well, I had a vocal paralysis thing going on a few years ago, and it's kind of affected how I breathe and stuff." But I didn't even say anything about it in the previous little interviews they did with us. I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it did affect my voice for a while. I had a really rough time singing for like a few years, and kind of gave up. But like, there was no hope for me after that. It's like I was like just beginning to believe in myself, and then that happened.
Right.
And so I was like, oh great. But then this opportunity came, and I actually almost didn't go to the auditions because I was like, oh well, if I don't, I don't even know how far I'll make it, and if I go to the audition, I have to quit my job, my summer job. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I really like my job. And
What were you doing for your summer job?
I was a technician guy at the Murray Park Amphitheater.
Really?
And it was, just a job I had with some friends. But, I was like, is it worth it? I don't know. Because I really didn't think I would go very
Right.
far. And it's just like, it's just kind of funny to see how far I've made it. And it's just, I can't believe it.
I have to ask you a tough question about Andrew Lloyd Webber week. You missed a line of lyrics, I noticed that week, and none of the judges caught you.
I know.
Were you just like, did I get a free pass, or what? What was going through your mind when that happened? The theme weeks were a lot older. We had 60s week, 70s week. A lot of these weeks with themes that happened before you were born. Did you ever wish that you'd had a few more chances to sing more recent songs on the show?
It would have been nice to have more of those opportunities, but even when I tried them, it's like there was never the right moment to find a song to fit into that category.
You also tended to pick, you picked Angels and you picked You're the Voice, which are songs that weren't huge in the U.S. They've got a pretty big following, I think, with more European audiences and Australia.
Yeah, I'm into the whole European music.
It's interesting that you found those songs at your age. I mean, are these just songs that you managed to discover over time?
They're not too old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they know over there that I'm a freak about, all the charts and, overseas stuff. And like, I'm really into British music and just seeing what was popular. I like to know why they're popular. Like, I have the Billboard books and like it's #1 song of each year and top 5.
So you're a little obsessive about following what's going on in music.
Yeah, not as much as I was before, but I'm still really into that. I always like to see charts from around the world and see what were really big hits here and why, and just like do research on the songs, who wrote them and why what they're written about. And I don't know, it's kind of just like my friends think I'm a nerd about it, and I am. I admit it, but it's just, I love music. I like to see what people like about music.
Do you think that'll influence your sound for whatever album you make? And I guess that's a big question from fans. Like, you seem to have a few routes you could go. You could sort of go the Josh Groban route. We saw you do the duet with One Republic. That worked out really well. You could sort of go that route.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's really...
Where would you like to go musically?
I think I showed my more mature side on American Idol and showed what music has done for me in my life. And the times I tried to do something more young, the judges never liked it, really.
Right.
But I'd like to go in something more suitable for my age. I'm 17.
Right.
And I like to be young and, enjoy this time of my life. I love John Mayer and Sarah Bareilles, however you pronounce her name. Breilles. I know how to spell it. They're still pop and young with their sound, but there's still meaning in their music. They it's like the music is important to them. It's not just about like, well, this is a hit song. There's like, you can tell there's a connection to their songs, and I'd love to have songs like that on my album.
I have to ask you a tough question about Andrew Lloyd Webber Week, because I noticed at the end of your performance you sort of mouthed a little bit like a sorry, and you missed a line of lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that week.
Imagine me my mind.
And none of the judges caught you.
It was the bomb.
I know.
Were you just like, did I get a free pass, or what? What was going through your mind when that happened?
It wasn't even that I like forget lyrics. I mean, I did it with Waiting on the World to Change too
Right.
for my first audition. They didn't mention anything about it. And it just like, where your mind just like in a cramp, and it's like the words are there, but you just don't say them. So it's like, kind of like watching something go, like, where it's like a raft or something you're waiting to jump on in the river. It's like, you know it's there and you know you're supposed to jump on it, but you just jumped on the wrong time and missed.
Right.
And so now you're kind of drowning, but I don't know.
Did you think they would catch that week, or did you just
I
sort
thought
of?
so. You never give a perfect performance, so you think the judges will catch it. But I think it just proves that music's not all about like the perfect technical stuff. It's about the feeling you gave and the way you're able to express yourself in the song.
What was the toughest week for you picking a song?
The toughest week? Oh gosh. Each week is just crazy. I guess top 3 was really difficult because I had something in mind already. And then, your songs have to, when they're more than one song, they have to kind of complement each other and they have to be balanced. And so I had my own choice in my mind and already working on it. And then I got the other 2 songs, judges and producers' choice, and it's just like, oh, okay.
They didn't quite.
And yeah,
yours
it didn't
fit
work
with
out.
that.
So it's like, what song will be able to show a different side? And so I just picked With You, and it was just a fun young song that I hadn't shown before. It's like, hey, I'm 17. This is a 17-year-old song, and it's just like
Yeah, and it would make sense because those were 2 kind of very big,
really
sort of
mature songs. And it's like with longer, I actually wanted to. I had a more contemporary feel to it.
I was going to
but-
ask you about that because we'd heard that you had wanted to maybe do a little different arrangement.
Yeah, I was
or add a
actually going to
little-
play piano on it too, and it was more of a Sarah Bareilles kind of feel to it. But they said it was producer's choice, and this is producers want it simple, so it's like okay.
Maybe like the
alright.
producers are wrong.
No, whatever I feel.
Because
Like
I think it would have been
whatever happens-
interesting to hear that song get shaken up. I mean, that song was kind of begging to be shaken up. Especially
Yeah,
by a 17-year-old
yeah,
contestant.
definitely.
As Simon said, it's an
Yeah.
older song, really.
Yeah, but I was glad that they didn't say anything. They didn't criticize anything about
your
how I,
performance, yeah.
So I thought that was good that I was able to do my best with it, and whatever happens, whatever has happened, and you learn from it. And I think if it happened, it was supposed to.
And how about the craziness of fans? Because we saw some of the footage. I think during your hometown visit, someone actually physically grabbed you as you were trying to make it through the gauntlet. Does that ever scare you a little bit? People get a little.
It gets a little
intense.
freaky. It's like I didn't want to show my farmer stand or anything. No, like it's weird when people don't let you go. It's like, hey,
Right.
let go.
Well, what's the overall goal exactly?
Yeah, but it was really neat to see the amount of support that your hometown, it's just, it's really special to see the people who you grow up around and, the people, I don't know, it's just really special to see your home giving you that support and knowing that they're there to back you up.